Hey there, this is Natalie. Still sick, but still wanting to get some of the discussion videos I've been working on recorded and out. So apologies if I sound terrible, but I'm doing my best, yeah? In this video, I'm going to be diving into a ReZero theory that you may well find interesting. We're talking about the possibility that Sirius, the Sin Archbishop of Wrath, who is now a factor in the situation in Prestella in Season 3 of the anime, might actually be none other than Fortuna, who we saw as Emilia's beloved mother figure and biological aunt in Emilia's Trial of the Past in Season 2. Yes, this theory has been around for a long time, but with Sirius now being a character that everybody has been introduced to, it seems like a good time to talk about it. So let's break down what we know so far and see if there's enough evidence to believe that these two characters are really the same person. I won't be going into any proper spoilers here though, but there may be some mentions of minor pieces of information you may not know if you're an anime-only ReZero fan, such as cover art from volumes of the light novel. So let's get into it. First off, let's talk about character design. If you look at both Sirius and Fortuna, then you can easily see that they've got some superficial features in common. Both of them have that striking silver hair and those intense amethyst-coloured eyes, just like Emilia, and of course Satella, but that connection is a subject for other theory videos that you can already find on my channel. Now, Sirius's hair is a lot longer, but remember that the last time we saw Fortuna was in a vision from before Emilia was frozen in ice, so over 100 years have passed since then. More than enough time for that pixie cut to grow out. Plus, they're around the same height, according to the character stats. But here's where it gets even more interesting. In Season 3, Episode 1 of the anime, we got a clear look at Sirius's ears, despite the bandages covering most of her body. And guess what? They're elven ears. Fortuna is a full elf, and there aren't too many of them around in ReZero's world these days, so it would be an unusual choice to put this ear type on a character if it wasn't significant. All of these factors not only match with Fortuna, but are features that are always highlighted as rare and significant about Emilia, though she is a half-elf, so it's clear we're not supposed to believe that there are many silver-haired, amethyst-eyed people walking around, especially with elven lineage. But their behaviours and the things they care about also show some very strong parallels, which I personally think are the basis for the theory, with stuff like the characters' similar appearances serving more as a clue or even as a confirmation for viewers. Both Sirius and Fortuna had deep feelings for Betelgeuse, just different versions of him. Sirius is totally obsessed with Betelgeuse in his later form, the Sin Archbishop of Sloth, and she even uses his last name, Romanee-Conti, as though they're married. This connection between the two, across timelines and forms, suggests that maybe Sirius and Fortuna share more than just a connection to Betelgeuse. They might even share the same identity. And Sirius's feelings towards Betelgeuse also explain her hatred for Emilia. Before the events with Pandora, it seemed like Fortuna and Betelgeuse's non-crazy identity, who I'll call Juice for simplicity, were working together to protect lollyform Emilia, although Juice hadn't been allowed to actually meet her. When he did, he seemed to have a strong, devoted reaction to her. We don't know exactly what was going on here, as we saw this from Emilia's Trial of the Past, which Echidna constructed from Emilia's repressed memories. Clearly, a lot was being kept from little Emilia, and Echidna could only show what Emilia Tan had seen and known at the time, leaving a lot of mysteries for both her and us. But Juice's probably wholesome reverence for child Emilia, and his then obsession with the Witch of Envy after he became the Sin Archbishop of Sloth, could cause an insane version of Fortuna to see Emilia as having taken his love from her, forgetting that she had previously loved her too. There are some cues on the artwork that seem to want us to see the two Sin Archbishops as mirrors of Fortuna and Juice too. If you look at the ReZero light novels, volumes 14 and 16, you'll notice the covers are almost mirror images, seemingly comparing old and new versions of characters. Sirius doesn't appear until Arc 5, and Betelgeuse is killed by Subaru in Arc 3, so these characters never appear on page or on screen together, but they do on this cover. Then there's another interesting detail. Sirius and Fortuna both use magic, with Sirius using magic as well as her authority. Now, Fortuna was an ice magic user, like Emilia, while Sirius mostly uses fire. But here's the thing. In ReZero's world, ice and fire actually belong to the same magic type, fire. Ice magic is seen as taking heat away. So Emilia technically is a fire type magic user. And so was Fortuna. They just use the elemental power in an unconventional way. This means that Fortuna and Sirius are both using the same magic type. And if we wanted to get symbolic with it, ice and fire may belong to the same elemental magic type in this setting, but they're also concepts usually used to symbolize contrast, as in A Song of Ice and Fire. Fortuna's ice reflects her calm nature, while Sirius's fire could represent her chaotic passion. What was once cool, stable, and unyielding became just the opposite, violent, uncontrollable, and all-consuming. But there is something that throws a bit of a spanner in the works for the theory. In the Japanese version of the anime, Sirius and Fortuna have different voice actors. Sirius is voiced by Chika Anzai, while Fortuna is voiced by Haruko Tomatsu. If they were voiced by the same person, it would have been an almost direct confirmation of the connection. So why the difference? It could be a strategic choice by the anime team or the author to keep the mystery alive. I'm not sure about that though, given we do have a precedent of characters who many theorise to be in some way the same, being voiced by the same seiyuu, where Emilia and Satella are both voiced by Rie Takahashi. Of course, there could be any number of explanations, even something as simple as Haruko Tomatsu being unavailable, or just not being as good at portraying an insane villain as she was at a kind mother figure. Some actors are just suited to some roles, and a character changing in such an extreme way could be a perfectly legitimate reason to recast them, though as far as I know, the characters do also have different VAs in the English dub, so if it's for production reasons unrelated to the mysteries of the story, then whatever those reasons were would have to apply to both pairs of actresses. Still, while it does throw some doubt on the theory, I don't think it's enough to rule it out. Now, supposing the theory is correct and Sirius really is Fortuna, how did she turn into the Sin Archbishop of Wrath? We all know Fortuna's heartbreaking fate. She died protecting Emilia. At least, that's how Emilia remembers it, and so how Echidna recreated it in her trial. But as with so many ReZero mysteries, the answer could lie with Pandora, the Witch of Vainglory. Pandora was there during Fortuna's death scene, and we know she has the power to manipulate reality itself. Pandora's reality warping abilities allow her to revive people or make it so they just simply didn't die. So it's totally possible that Pandora brought Fortuna back from the dead and then, by infusing her with the witch factor of wrath, slowly drove her insane, similar to what happened to Betelgeuse. So, could Sirius really be Fortuna, resurrected and warped by Pandora into the terrifying Sin Archbishop of Wrath? I personally think this seems highly likely, but Tapei Nagatsuki does some surprising things in this story, and so it could be that all of these things are hinting towards a twist we're just not seeing coming. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Are you convinced that Fortuna and Sirius are one and the same, or do you think this is all just a bunch of coincidences? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and gently caress the notification bell for more theories on ReZero and other anime mysteries. And if you can afford it and want to help a poor, sick, struggling cat girl, please consider donating via Ko-fi. The link is in the description, and I'll love you very much. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.